With more than half of my docket, I'm dealing with individuals who have alcohol and drug problems. And the larger truth is, if you throw in a lot of those property crimes, because I think that the burglaries are committed by individuals who have an alcohol or drug problem. They're breaking into somebody's house or building a car and getting what they can and pawning it, and then turn around and buying drugs. The number, if you'll see, is about 2/3 of my docket is directly related to drug and alcohol cases. And we're all busy, and we're all trying to do what we can with those cases, but we're all inundated by them. As you might imagine, most of the individuals in the criminal justice system are indigent, and we are required to appoint them lawyers. And the cost of appointing them lawyers for 2007 was $5,523,286. That's what it cost us as taxpayers. Now, the jail population in Travis County is quite large. In 2007, the average daily population was 2,646 individuals. And I'm telling you, every night in the year 2007, when you went to bed, you had 2,646 of your neighbors spending the night in the Travis County Jail. That cost us about $45 per night. And that results in $119,000 per day that we in Travis County are spending to keep those individuals in jail per day. And if you multiply that times 365, you can see that we're spending $43,435,000 per year on the Travis County Jail. If you add to that the $5 million plus that we spend on court-appointed lawyers, we've just spent $50 million that we're not spending on schools and hospitals and roads and bridges and anything at parks, anything else that you'd like to spend your money on. That $50 million does not include my salary or my staff or running the courthouse or the budget of the Austin Police Department and all the ancillary matters that go in, or the district attorney's office for that matter. I have always thought that jail and prisons were the most expensive form of public housing that we have. And whenever I try to have an argument about this, or a discussion I should say, with my Republican friends who purport to be physically conservative, I say this is bad economics right here. Amen. To take this money away from our social fabric and network and to spend it just throwing it away like that. Amen. Okay, so those are just the hard dollars. And let me spend the remainder of my time talking to you about why I think that all of us are here. I think that the dollars concern us, but I think that the people that I see in this room who I've known through politics and other social causes for a long, long time, we're here because of the moral and social impact this has on our society. Let me start with this premise. I'm a judge. And I'm glad that we have prisons and jails. And I think people who are dangerous, people who are violent, and people who would harm our children ought to be in jail and ought to be in prison, because we have a right to live in a peaceful environment where our children are safe. So let me just start out with that. I agree with all that. And I've sent a lot of people to prison for a long, long period of time. And I don't brag about that, but I did that because I thought that it was a cost that the public didn't mind paying in order to be safe and to make sure that our children were secure. But I want to talk about the non-violent offenders who have drug and alcohol problems, who have emotional and education problems, and who have financial and family problems. And what are the moral and social costs for incarcerating those individuals? Travis County jail population is roughly 8-to-1 male to female. And it is roughly evenly divided, 1/3 white, 1/3 African American, and 1/3 Hispanic. But the fact that they're evenly divided is not really an accurate representation of where we stand in Travis County. Actually, it shows more of a result of disproportionate representation, and that is dramatically seen in the African American community. The same is true on a statewide basis. African Americans are 12% of the Texas population. They are 41% of the Texas prison population. And they are 0.08% of the elected officials in Texas. 1 in 14 African Americans today are in prison. 1 in 4 are in the criminal justice system somewhere. African Americans in Texas are incarcerated at a rate 7 times greater than whites. And if these rates continue, an estimated 32% of black males will enter either state or federal prison during their lifetime, compared to 17% of Hispanic males and 5.9% for white males. From 1988, and if you're a Gray Panther, you remember these years. From 1988 to 1998, the Texas prison population increased from 39,000 to 151,000. And between 1991 and 1995, 57 new prisons were built in Texas. And I'll tell you something, folks. When prison construction is your #1 growth industry, something is terribly wrong morally with the fabric of our society.
Amen.